Hello, I am your substitute teacher, Mr. Pachisi, covering for Mr. the Jobber, who is away on a field trip to the zoo, and this is his classroom in Little Rock, Arkansas. So put away your mobile phones, put away your mini scooters, it's time to concentrate, it's time to study. This is Raw, and this is Graded. Kicking things off, and all of the Raw superstars who qualified for the Money in the Bank ladder match are in the ring atop various differently sized ladders. It looks like they're in some kind of ladder-themed musical where they're all about to break out into song. Oh, I want to win the briefcase. I want to win it too. I want to win the briefcase, 'cause I'm more superstar than you. I miss Jack too. Out comes Raw General Manager Kurt Angle, who bigs up both of the Money in the Bank matches on Sunday, but he is quickly interrupted by Constable Corbin, who has lost all of his hair. He shaved it all off. That pathetic head of hair that he had is no more. He's gone all Simon Miller on us, and he actually looks really good. He looks a lot better. Next thing, he's going to lift up his shirt and just have a beautiful set of abs. Maybe. Anyway, I'm going to give Baron Corbin specifically an A for this, because I think it's probably going to be my only opportunity to award an A on this episode of Raw, so well done, Baron. All of the competitors then started arguing atop their ladders. Oh, I'm going to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. No, you're not. I'm going to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. Actually, I think my mixed tag partner Finn is going to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. No, he's not. My mixed tag... It was really awkward, because they're all stood like 3 or 4 feet in the air for no reason. It just looked like so ridiculous. I'm going to give it a C. I get that you wanted to get all of the competitors in the ring at the same time to get that image for Money in the Bank on Sunday, but yeah, this didn't work for me. This leads on nicely to a fatal 4-way match between the Raw Women's Money in the Bank entrants, and this was actually a really decent match. It's almost like maybe you should have kicked Raw off with this match. A hot match to get the crowd excited, as opposed to a promo where people stand on ladders of differing sizes. But what do I know? This one gets a B from me. Each woman comes out looking strong, sensible booking, where every woman is made to feel like a viable threat in the run-up to Money in the Bank. That's exactly what this match should do. Natalya picks up the win, which unfortunately sort of means that she's almost definitely not going to win the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, but that's okay. This was a good match, a strong start. Let's forget that promo with the ladders, the musical thing, and forget the fact that I did that musical thing, because it was bad. It was bad. Backstage now, and Kevin Owens is extending the olive bowl to Finn Balor, explaining that he thinks that they should all team up to take Braun Strowman out of action in that fatal 4-way match later on tonight. Naughty. Next up, we get the Fashion Police versus Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, and this is exactly what you think it's going to be. A personal highlight for me was Drew McIntyre giving it a big old Ryback, finish this, as he tagged in Dolph. I love the Claymore zigzag combination. I'm still really impressed by that. I think it's a great tag team finisher move, but this was, as I say, exactly what you think it's going to be. It was never going to be anything more than a glorified squash match. It gets a C from me. After the match, Dolph and Drew grab mics and they say that their loss last week was nothing more than a fluke, that they are not just hype. A personal attack on my playboy, Mojo Rawley, who wasn't even on the show tonight. Disgraceful. Utterly disgraceful. They say that they are going to improve the tag team division by taking each and every tag team out of the division, which I'm not personally against. Backstage now with the big dog, and he says that Jinder Mahal is an idiot. Oh, calm down, Roman, you bellend, there are kids watching. Anyway, next up, we're going to get Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal, because people literally couldn't wait until Sunday. Literally couldn't wait. You know that feeling that you get in your stomach the night before Christmas? You've seen the presents under the tree, that uncomfortable butterfly feeling. Because the tension is killing you. What is in those presents? That's how I felt since this match was announced. But they dangled the carrot and then they took it away, because we're not going to get Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal tonight. We're going to get Roman Reigns versus Sunil Singh. You bastards. Sunil gets decimated, obviously, and then as Roman is standing up, he is attacked from behind by Jinder Mahal. I'm going to give this one a B. I'm still not excited for the match on Sunday, but I actually quite enjoyed this segment. I think it was solid, cowardly heel work from Jinder Mahal, which most importantly actually made Roman look like the babyface for the first time in weeks. Next up, it's time for the B team versus Heath and Rhyno, and my favourite thing about this match was the fact that the B team got a proper entrance and Heath and Rhyno got a jobber's entrance. Big fan of that. There's not much to talk about with the match itself. I'm giving it a C. It was over very, very quickly. And then following the match, Matt and Bray appeared on the Titantron and then on the ramp to hype the match for Sunday. But there were boos in the crowd. And I think if they beat the B team on Sunday, which I think is pretty likely that they're going to do, they're at risk of turning heel because of that. Because the B team is so over. They're so terrifically funny and brilliant. And I think this feud could harm Matt and Bray, which is a bit of a shame because I remember the excitement when they came together, and that excitement has dissipated far more quickly than it should have done. Not a huge deal, but I do think it's a shame. To the ring again now with Elias, and he is hyping his IC title match at Money in the Bank. He plays a song, he shows off this beautiful hand-painted guitar gifted to him by hip-hop sensation John Mayer. It's stunning. He's interrupted by Seth. Seth comes to the ring, gets rid of Elias, runs him down, and then eventually curb stomps the guitar into smithereens. Bastard. It's an alright promo. It gets a C. I'm not really excited about the match. And, Elias still doesn't really feel like a credible threat to Seth's IC title. And that's fine, I guess. Elias' song was very funny tonight. Backstage once more, and this time Kevin Owens is trying to recruit Bobby Roode to take out Braun Strowman in the Fatal 4-Way match tonight. But next is Bayley versus Ruby Riot, and the Riot Squad are on their way to the ring, and they're throwing crisps everywhere. They're banging on refrigerators. They're cutting the ties off those squares who wear ties. Punk rock. Is that it? Punk rock. The match itself was fine, nothing incredibly exciting. I'm going to give this one a C. Ruby Riot picks up the win after throwing Bayley into the corner post, shoulder first. Of course, Bayley has trouble with her shoulder, and then hitting the Riot kick to pick up the win. And after the match, more interestingly, the Riot Squad come into the ring and they restrain Bayley, and then Ruby Riot starts drawing on her face and her chest. I remember as a kid being so unbelievably offended by the NWO when they would beat their opponents or they would attack somebody, leave them laying down, and they would do a big spray paint yellow line or a big spray paint NWO on their back. That felt cool. This just didn't. Maybe I'm nitpicking here. I see what they're going for. It is really disrespectful, and I remember just being so outraged as a kid. But this just didn't feel the same as that. It's another C. Next up, we get a showdown between Ronda Rousey and Raw Women's Champion Nia Jax. And Nia explains that, hey, Ronda, there are things that you can do in the WWE that you can't do in the UFC, like headbutts, slaps, strikes to the spine, hair pulling. Presenting WWE as the more legitimate of the two and then saying it's because of hair pulling. What about flaming tables, Nia? What about barbed wire bats? What about 500-pound ring steps? What about cookie sheets? They can't use any of those in the match on Sunday, but you get my gist. Ronda says that she was born ready, that people have been doubting her entire life. And once again, she is going to prove those doubters wrong at Money in the Bank on Sunday and become the Raw Women's Champion. She stands up, and Ronda is then hit with a big Samoan headbutt, courtesy of Nia Jax. Ronda returns to her feet, locks in an armbar, and Nia taps. And then, for some reason, the bell rang, like it was a real match or something. This one gets a C from me. I think this whole feud has been a bit of a disaster. For both women, in fact, because Ronda now, it looks like she's sort of been gifted a title match. It's happened very, very quickly after her debut, without Ronda really proving much. And Nia, it's been difficult to tell if she's a heel or face. She's been a bully. It's been a mess, this one. It's a C. Next up is No Way Jose versus Curt Hawkins, and I actually really like this. So No Way Jose comes down to the ring with his Jose buds, and they enter the ring and he's waiting for Curt Hawkins to come down. Curt's music hits. Curt's nowhere to be seen. Curt's music hits again. Still nothing. No Curt on the ramp. He's not coming. And then the referee starts to count him out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Curt Hawkins slides in the ring, rolls up No Way Jose. Didn't get the pinfall. Jose immediately drops him and wins the match, leaving the score at 2-0 for Curt Hawkins. But I thought this was brilliant. Giving this one a B for creativity. Hawkins is now getting desperate, and they've managed to make a really, really good storyline out of his losing streak, to the point where it's actually getting mainstream media exposure, which is really cool. I can't wait to see who Hawkins finally beats. I hope it's for a title, but I'm invested. It's fun. It's now time for the Bobby Lashley obstacle course. 4 words that I never thought I would put together. Shades of NXT Season 4 here, as Sami comes to the ring and explains that to prove that Bobby Lashley was in the army, he has to complete this sort of military obstacle course or something. Coin toss, and Bobby Lashley goes first, and he impresses at every stage of the obstacle course. The man is a beast. He's doing the monkey bars and then pull-ups. He's climbing the ladder to ring the bell, but he's not even using his feet to get up. He's literally just like hoisting his weight up. Absolutely beautiful stuff. But 47 seconds in, and Sami Zayn attacks him from behind, standing tall over him. Gonna give this one a quite frankly generous C. And before you hit the dislike button, let me explain why. This whole feud has been an utter disaster. It's been a complete mess. But this week wasn't awful. Sami Zayn just about has the charisma to pull this off. Bobby Lashley didn't smile this week. There's a big positive. It's a C. It's the men's fatal 4-way time, and before the match begins, we go backstage and Braun confronts his 3 opponents and says that, hey, I've got an idea. That's Braun Strowman, by the way. You should all team up on me. Making Kevin Owens and his strategy completely redundant. Really funny stuff. Kevin, Finn and Bobby do indeed employ that strategy. They all team up on Braun, beating him down, but not for long. He sends them out of the ring. They end up at the top of the ramp. They overpower him once again, lay him on the announce table, and Kevin Owens hits this incredible, fantastic frog splash from the top of the ladder. He overcame his fear. Beautiful stuff. Lots of finishes to end the match. It looked like it could be any man's match at this point, but no, of course not. Braun Strowman hits the running power slam onto a ladder. Ouch. To end the match, Kevin Owens taking the pinfall, 1, 2, 3, and Braun Strowman stands tall to end Raw. I'm awarding this one a B. It did everything that a match like this should do. It teased the high spots and general insanity that Money in the Bank offers, hyping the match on Sunday absolutely beautifully. I will say, however, that I think WWE are at risk with their booking of Braun. He was taken out of the match in such incredible fashion, and I love Braun, but I don't think him losing this match would have hurt him at all. Overall, the best Raw that we've seen in recent weeks. There were fun moments throughout, and both of the Fatal 4-Way matches certainly delivered. This one gets a C+ from me. I will leave you with the following. If the age-old trope of the person standing tall on the go-home episode of TV means that they are not winning at the pay-per-view, then we know the following. Ronda Rousey is not leaving Money in the Bank as Raw Women's Champion. Natalya is not winning the Women's Money in the Bank. Braun Strowman is not winning the Men's Money in the Bank. And Roman Reigns is beating Jinder Mahal. See you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. That's it from me. You can follow me on Twitter here. If you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can pledge to our Patreon. That's patreon.com/Cultaholic. And most importantly, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.